What's up, guys? Welcome into Good Morning Lambeau on this glorious Saturday morning here on March 16th. Appreciate everybody jumping in here with us and joining the show. I know everybody trying to get woke up. They're trying to get that diesel in them, get cranked up here. I'm sure you guys got a productive weekend set up. I know I woke up like this, Tim.
Good morning.
That was me right there this morning, bro.
Is that a new one?
Yeah, I had the dinosaur shirt on and everything. That was me right there. So anyway, how y'all doing this morning, boys?
Pretty much like that. Yeah. Right there with you.
I love it. You know, when I first talked to Tim, he was listening to the show and he would email in, text in, all that good stuff. And then the first time I talked to him on the phone, I'm like, this guy has got it. You just seem like you're extremely organized. You're a morning person. And then when I meet him, I'm like, it's actually quite the opposite. Tim's up till 4 a.m. He likes to sleep till 11, right? So I love it, man. Jacob. And it's funny because you look at Jacob, got the beard. He's all tatted up and everything. You think that's the dude that sleeps in past 1. No, he's up. You're up at the crack.
He's up early. Jacob's organized and up. Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Right.
And you noticed Emilio yesterday. We got him to commit. He would be in here this morning, right? And I looked at him. I said, Emilio, it's Saturday morning. You're not going to be in here. Where's Emilio at?
I just sent him a message in the group chat.
There you go. Give him a call, Jacob. Let's just call him. Wake him up. Right?
Call him live on the air.
Should I call him right now?
Oh, that would be great, dude.
Oh, my gosh.
Not even tell him we're on the air. We get canceled so quick. Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
Maybe later, if he doesn't get up by 8:30, we'll call him.
Exactly. All right, let's give a shout out to everybody in the chat real quick. We got John in here. We got Jarrell. Good to see you, buddy. Let's see, Ron Sandbull, Timothy in the house. What's up, Tim? Mike Hebring, good morning, buddy. Good to see you in here. Aitor Armas, I hope I'm saying that right, or Aitor Armas. Good to see you, bud, from Spain. Love it, man. Love it. John, obviously, I want to say this. I'm pretty sure, John, you correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. John is the one who needs to get credit for use that pinky and smash that like button, because I think he's the one who sent me the email and said, or it was a comment on YouTube. But he's a new member of the PTA posse. Appreciate you jumping on board,
Thanks,
buddy. So, yeah. Here's the deal. Bakhtiari has been a big talking point, and you guys know I've steered clear of it, right? And that was the goal. But I got 3 emails, people asking about it, okay? And then I got a direct message from Tim Reese on Twitter today saying, hey, where can I find the interview? I want to hear that interview. Everybody is interested in what Bach said, okay? So I'm going to try to keep my personal opinion out of this. I'm going to play 3 clips from the Wildy and Tausch show yesterday where they interviewed David Bakhtiari. Now, obviously, anyone who knows Mark Tauscher, he played with Bach. If I remember correctly, it might have been like his last year, or maybe he had just got out of the league when Bach came in. But you guys remember Mark Tauscher played for Wisconsin, big Packer fan, still a Packer fan. Wildy and Tausch has become one of my favorite shows. I think they do an excellent job of giving a player's perspective. Then you got a longtime media member's perspective, and the respect has grown for me when it comes to Jason Wildy, simply because every former player I've talked to, they like Jason Wildy. They say, no, Wildy's a real dude. Wildy's good. Like Mike Wall said that. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is fairly close with him. You've seen him go to bat for Aaron with all this Sandy Hook stuff that's going around. He posted a clip. Hey, here's what Aaron's reaction was in real time when that happened. So you could tell that he's got kind of this working relationship with Aaron, because they did, Tuesdays with Aaron for forever. And I listened to that. I think that might have even been before Wildy and Tausch. But nonetheless, Tausch is kind of coming from a perspective with David Bakhtiari, like, I don't want to say a big brother, but a player who had been there, done that, right? And he talks about Clifton. Clifton was kind of that big brother to him. You guys remember Chad Clifton, right? He was left tackle for the Packers. Similar situation. Knee injuries, put him out of the league. Tauscher, knee injuries, put him out of the league. Now Bach battling knee injuries, right? And the reason we brought it up is because Jacob sent me this. I'm blaming Jacob for this whole thing. He sent me this tweet, right? Adam Schefter. Well, he sent me a different one. I found one, Jacob, that's actually got the terms, at least a dollar amount attached. Adam Schefter quote tweeted his tweet from earlier. That tweet said, 8-time Pro Bowl offensive tackle Tyron Smith intends to sign with the New York Jets. Per sources, the 33-year-old Smith is expected to go from protecting Dak Prescott to protecting Aaron Rodgers. Now, Adam Schefter quote tweeted himself and said the Jets are giving offensive tackle Tyron Smith a 1-year contract, 1-year deal that with incentives could be worth up to $20 million per source. Okay, so why are we talking about that? immediately people and Jacobs focused didn't shift to this, right? And I'm sure Tim's didn't either. Tim's a smart enough fan to know that Bach's time in Green Bay is done pretty much. But I'm sure there's fans that seen this and went, okay, so we thought Bach would go play with Aaron Rodgers. They've got their tackle now. Maybe Bach returns to Green Bay on a much cheaper contract, right? That type of thing. I don't think that's going to happen. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, right? And who knows how the team and Bach actually feel. I'm going to play these clips. I want to get your all's reaction to it, Jacob. Is that cool with you? And let's just kind of so we can put this behind us and bury this, okay? This was on Wildy and Tausch yesterday. I'm not going to play the entire interview because that's disrespectful. I'm going to play 3 clips. And you guys make sure you go over to ESPN Madison, like the video, share it. I'm sure they're posting stuff on their Twitter accounts too. Make sure we show them some love for this interview, okay? And I thought they did a really good job. And just look at Bach, or not Bach, look at Tauscher and how irritated he looks during this whole process. Again, we got 3 clips. We'll talk in between those clips. And then once we get through the 3 clips, we'll get to Tim's mock draft. But here we go. This is Wildy and Tausch from ESPN Radio.
Because, that's what I do. You said the nonverbal part of this. Did you get the sense that they were pissed about the way last season went and the fact that they got 1 game out of you before you realized that your knee was not functioning properly?
No, I mean, everyone understood. It was just I don't think they understood, the magnitude. And I think some information probably was displayed not properly, so I think it was more of a miscommunication. But I don't think anyone understands, the magnitude of the surgery that I had and the fact I was non-weight bearing for 8 weeks. And then, just kind of coming back and kind of not really – it's like being welcome but not at the same time is the best way to describe it. And then I'm like, well, okay, this guy I'm understanding, I guess my girlfriend moved on. Okay, that's fine. But, I'm an adult. We can have a conversation about it.
All right, so – one thing I want to say there, this sounds a lot like, do you guys remember Zadarius Smith? Zadarius Smith said, I come back to the locker room and it's just like no one was treating me with respect. I think Zadarius is a drama queen. That's just me personally. But that's the first thing I thought of was how when he returned to the locker room before they traded him, of course, he had already ticked everybody off about not being a captain, right? Or not traded him before they cut him loose. He had already ticked everybody off about not being a captain, obviously. But that's the first thing that came to mind for me. What do you think, Jacob, as far as what he said there? Anything stick out to you so far? And again, we got details on the knee, and then we got how the injury actually happened. You may be muted, Jacob.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
Okay.
To me, it seems like Bach is kind of I don't know. I don't want to say that he's being a diva or anything like that, but it seems like he's kind of the I don't know what to think, dude. It makes it clear that
man, it's tough. You can see both sides, right?
It seems as if coming from his perspective that they didn't realize how actually bad the surgery was. I find that kind of hard to believe because he's their starting left tackle. They've got all this money wrapped up. How would they not know how significant the injury is? You know what I mean? That to me seems weird.
That's what's so weird about it. And, I kind of took it a little bit different than you did. I felt like he was saying, you guys know how bad this is. And you keep portraying it as if, yeah, we expect him back. We expect him back, Yeah. Remember how pissed off LaFleur was that he didn't play in week 2, right?
Right.
And that's kind of the vibe I get from it. But, again, Tim, if you want to comment, you go right ahead, buddy. I know this isn't your cup of tea. Again, I wanted to steer clear of it too, but we're going to hit it real quick. You got anything to add up to this point, Tim?
No, I just want to keep listening.
Right.
I didn't catch the whole show the other day, so this is good for me to catch up on.
All right, so here's where he goes into a little more detail on the knee itself.
Unfortunately, I know the knee and understand how that all works. Where are you at right now, and what was the procedure? If you don't want to violate HIPAA laws, I get it, but what was it that you did over the course of this season surgically that is going to give you an opportunity to get back out there if it does work and you're feeling up to it?
Look at you throwing the hard-hitting questions. Well, I'm not going to say just yet what it was.
Okay.
But what I will say is I'm about.
Can you tease us?
I'm about almost at the halfway mark. of since I got surgery.
Does
but
it
I'm up,
rhyme?
I'm moving around.
Does it rhyme with cartilage regeneration?
I mean, a form of that, yes, but it isn't what I think everyone's thinking about. So I don't want to throw out like speculation of like they drilled holes and we were trying to regrow cartilage in a bone. Like, no, it was something very different, very more novel,
Cutting
more
edge.
novel in the space.
You're an innovator.
Yeah, and I mean, I worked with Brian Cole. He was fantastic. I'm really excited to see. But for me, the biggest thing is I didn't realize how much pain I was in until after I got this, and I kind of let the dust settle from the surgery. As you know, that surgeries can be very tough, and now, at least in my daily life, I'm like, wow, I was harboring and holding on to a lot of pain that I was trying to justify.
All right, so the reason I wanted to play that clip is because that kind of shows you. He said he's at the halfway point, guys. Right, and again, I'm saying this because there are some Packer fans who will think, man, I think we can get David Bakhtiari back at left tackle. A couple of reasons why I think that won't happen is, one, it sounds like he's still pretty far away, right? And then two, the fact that he's still harboring some ill will towards the team, right? So here is kind of the most, what am I trying to say here? The most impactful comment that I heard from the entire interview. And he kind of talks about how the injury happened, not specifically, but just kind of the wear and tear on the body and the practice schedule that they had that kind of led to this happening. And he makes a couple comments in here that makes me think, yeah, he would, no matter how much money they threw at him, he would probably never suit up for the Packers again. But again, here we go. This is Wildy and Tausch. This is Tauser and Jason Wildy talking to David Bakhtiari.
But I mean, yeah, I think a lot of people will be like, "Are you kidding me right now?" Like, it's unfortunate, the timing and the circumstance, and I do wish that it had happened differently. But sometimes you got to play the hand that you're dealt. Sometimes you're going to lose the house, and sometimes you're going to win. That's just what it is.
David, and I don't want you to look back because I know how that all goes, but and Jason mentioned it, the the New Year's Eve thing and everything else. But is it just a case of bad luck? Do you just think that was how it went? Because a lot of people have had ACLs. A lot of people, I've had it twice, able to bounce back, and things all worked itself out. Is there anything that you would have done differently throughout this whole process that maybe you wouldn't be in the pain and the situation that ended up where you really had to struggle for a couple of years to try to figure out what was going on?
Don't listen to my coaches as much. Stop being a player's coach, and not be practicing full pads on a Thursday in week 17.
Should have talked to Cliffy. Should have talked to Cliffy.
And just got on the Cliffy Bob Lamborghini program. Probably about a year or two sooner. But again, I know I bring it up in the training room. That's something that I lightly talked about. I said I love practicing, but they just they enjoy throwing the guys out there, and I hope that I was maybe the final straw that no one else has to. They start really pulling back on practice for guys that they know are fine. Because I know it's more of an anxiety thing of they want their guys to play and be tuned up. Like, we're professionals, especially the guys that have done it long enough. He's going to do what he's going to do out there on Sunday. It'll be okay.
I do think that there has been a change in their philosophy because I think they know that if you don't get injured in that practice that they're playing in the Super Bowl. Do you agree with that, by the way?
I mean, I don't know. I still have to play that game. Who knows?
That's a yes.
That's a yes. David, you...
All right, so that's pretty much it. I wanted to point that out because, he's essentially saying, first of all,
yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong, Jacob. The fact that he said I shouldn't have listened to my coach, that's a direct shot at Matt Floor, right? So,
yeah,
I think we can put it to bed now that don't expect Bach to, hey, we're back from the injury, we're good, let's come in and fill in a pinch type thing, right? And again, Bach is snippy, man. Bach is one of these dudes that was underrated coming into the league, fought his ass off to get where he was at, and feels like there at the end it could have ended different. And I know it was tough, man. You go into that NFC championship. Am I remembering correctly, Jacob? You go into the NFC championship, he gets hurt at practice. You don't have him for the Bucs game. And then they obviously lose that game. Am I remembering that right, or was it the Niners? It's all blurred together, man.
To be honest, I don't want to say for sure because I don't know. 100%.
Pretty sure it was the Bucs game, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, the Niners was not that was a divisional, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
Following year. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a tough look all the way around. But I get Bach's standpoint. You know, the team too. I mean, we're a pod. Obviously, we're not going to sit here and say practice doesn't matter. You've heard other people too. Like, I don't want to put words into his mouth, but the vibe I get from Mike Wall is like, you know, it's just an excuse. Get out there and practice. Not to this specifically, but just in the past, I've been like, you know, he definitely feels like the game has gone soft, but that's Mike Wall. That's Mr. You know, 22. I'll be the pulling guard and stick my nose into a wood chipper type thing, right? So the game has definitely changed. But yeah, it's just it's tough, man. He's going to be in the Packer Hall of Fame. He may be a Hall of Famer too. He being David Bakhtiari. Again, got a bunch of emails, got DM'd on Twitter. I'm like, let's just hit on it. Here's the gist of the conversation. Again, go watch the whole thing, support those guys, share it, all that good stuff. But we'll go around the horn one last time here with it. Tim, I'll give you time to gather your thoughts, man. How do you feel about it? Big nothing burger, or, you know, definitely unfortunate no matter which way you look at it.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, he's definitely played his last snaps as a Packer. I think that's obvious. The other thing that's obvious to me is we as fans and, you know, and apparently some people within the building there, according to Bakhtiari at least, we have to remember that these dudes are human beings, man. Like, we tend to look at these athletes like they're these larger than life figures and that they're something other than just a man. I mean, Bakhtiari is just a man, and you know, your body can take so much abuse. You can put yourself through so much pain and be willing to grit through it for so long. And if you lose that aspect of treating someone like a human being and not a robot, you know, that's when you can have problems. You know, I remember being at camp last year and hearing fans complaining about Bakhtiari not practicing during training camp. And it's like, I felt like I was in the minority looking at everyone like, well, you know, he's a veteran, right? And, you know, he's, you know, dealing with a knee issue, you know, had like, what did he have? He had some process where they were like shaving down bone and all kinds of like super intense type of surgical stuff. And, you know, pain is no joke. And it's like, oh yeah, by the way, go out there and put some pads on and hit some guys. Like, come on. Yeah. So you have to remember, at the end of the day, we love these guys. We want them to be our favorite athletes and to be out there every single Sunday. But what it takes to get there, you have to have some respect for guys that are willing to grind it out and put their body through hell to get back out there for the team. And if the team is kind of, you know, looking at them with the side eye, I can see why there might be a little animosity there. Honestly.
And again, I think where he felt a little bit disrespected, and this is just me trying to filter through it, Jacob, and figure out what exactly is he saying here. It's like, you know, it reminds me of back in the day. I think it was Tom Coughlin, and I think the running back was Fred Taylor, and they were in Jacksonville. I don't know why this just randomly popped in my mind, but he basically set the tone like, yeah, he should be good to go this week. And Fred Taylor, hearing his side of the story after he retired, after he was gone out of Jacksonville, was like, he knew how hurt I was. And to go out there in the media and portray it as if he doesn't play, then I don't know what the problem is type thing. I don't think LaFleur went to that level, obviously. But he definitely didn't do any favors. Like, look, you know, we know Bach will be out there when he can be out there. That week, too, I remember him specifically saying, I am done talking about it. I mean, kind of got, you know, snippy with the media. And I immediately was like, "Oh, that's a different Matt LaFleur there." But Jacob, as we wrap it up, man, parting thoughts on that, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I definitely see his side of it a lot more now after hearing that last chunk of it. And what stinks is that you can tell that it stems from a long time, because you can see how right away Tauscher was like, "Yeah, I should have talked to Clifford." I mean, that's a 20-year span, guys, at least. So it's clear that when there's smoke, there's fire. And it is just a shame. So, and then, you know, you can tell he's still bitter because he's like, hopefully I'm the last guy, right? I mean, and I don't know who's the next guy up on that. Would be like a Rasheed Walker or, you know, somebody, Elton Jenkins. So I don't know if they've parted down that knowledge to him, but, you know, there's a little more drama in that locker room that I would like to admit. That's for sure.
Yeah, and, you know, it was all around some of the older guys, right? And the game is constantly changing. I mean, you listen to Mike Wall. You know, like Mike Wall is kind of leaving these breadcrumbs like, hey, look, the game's soft today. And here you got a current player that's like, hey, man, I shouldn't have been practicing. That seems like the opposite of how he feels, right? So it's constantly evolving and changing. And this is kind of the last of the group. I think Kenny Clark will be the final one, which Kenny is quite a bit younger when he came in the league, right? But yeah, what you said about Chad Clifton is so true, though, because like Chad Clifton, he was a left tackle. He was drafted in the early 2000s, real early 2000s, right? His career winded down with knee injuries and stuff. Now, you heard Tauscher talk about Cliff. You should have got on the Cliffy Bob, Lamborghini program or whatever, right? Because it sounds like he was really adamant, like, hey, look, you guys are not handling this correct. The same thing happened to Tauscher, and Mark Tauscher loves the Green Bay Packers, but just watching the show on a daily basis there with Wildy and Tausch, you get the vibe that Tauscher's like, that final year, they pretty much just cut him loose, said, we don't need you. And then they had an injury occur, and then they went crawling back to him like, hey, come here, we need you, type thing. And now it's kind of bridged its gap to, obviously David Bakhtiari. So people don't want to hear it, but this is what Aaron was talking about, right? The older players on their way out. This is what he was talking about. Whether you agree with it or not, we all have the right to our opinion, but anyone who ignores the fact that this continues to happen, I think you just kind of, you're just choosing to ignore it, and that's okay too. And you can't, people say, well, this is the final thing I'll say. The argument that really bothers me is the people that go, well, they're fine while they're here. Yeah. until you run them ragged and go, all right, get out, right? That's, of course, when they're going to have the issue. They're not going to have the issue when they're here. I don't know how many players it's got to happen to before you do look up and go, okay, we can at least acknowledge there's some truth to that comment, right? Whether you agree with it or not. It's a tough business. There's no doubt about it. And I think that's what's cool about Mark Tauscher's take is at the end of the day, he does come down to, hey, look, this is a business. It's a business, that's why, again, my fandom has really evolved over the years. I used to be that guy, shut up and play, get out there and play. You're getting paid a lot of money to play a kid's game. And as I get older, I find myself going, man, when a player holds out, I understand why. They're trying to get every dime they can because they know this might be their last year playing, right? You never know what's going to happen. It's why when we talk about the contractual aspect of the game, the guaranteed money is what you got to focus on, right? Because that's the money at the end of the day that's going to accelerate to the last year when they do get cut by the team. And that's why I pointed out about Aaron's contract. Everybody tried to make it sound like he was the highest paid quarterback forever. If you took his cap hit and the amount of money they actually paid him over the course of his entire career and you divided it by the year, not at any point was he top 5 in league money. You got to average the whole thing out. You can't just cherry pick the 1 year, 50 million per. That's the guy. That's the contract. He didn't play on that last year, did he? You know what I mean? It got restructured and all that. So I just want to be in the middle, man. I don't want to make it sound like these players are selfish, and I darn sure don't want to try to paint the Packers out to be an evil organization because I think they're the farthest thing from it. I really do. So we can finally put it to bed. You guys now know why I try to steer clear of it. But we got drug on into it. And Jacob, I'm blaming you because when you sent that to me earlier today, I'm going. And it's funny because you didn't even look at it that way either, did you? You didn't look at it like,
No.
okay, now talk about some of the Packers. But there's many Packer fans that are. So
No, I just thought it was interesting because everybody, that was the common narrative, is that he's going to go right to the Jets. And I mean, it honestly sounds like from that interview that he's not going to be ready till maybe this very start of the season. So if that.
yeah, saying he's halfway there. I just don't know what he did say this in there, and I didn't play. Like I said, I didn't want to just take the whole interview and play it. But one thing he did say on there was, yeah, let's get the knee right. Let's go out, give him one more all-pro year, laugh at him, and retire, is what he said. So he's got a little chip on his shoulder, like, I want to get out there and prove, hey, look, you guys did mishandle this. I could still play. Now we handled it the right way. Let's roll, right?
People act like he didn't try. Like, there was a point, do you guys remember where he was getting drained at the end of each game, like 50 cc's of blood? Do you know how much blood that is, guys? Like, I had to have like 10 taken out of my dog's ear, and it was a lot of blood. And I literally, it was so funny because I'm in the vet's office and I'm thinking about David Bakhtiari, and I'm like, that poor son of a like, just
No doubt,
so
man.
much blood, dude. It's a lot.
Yep. It's I don't know, man. It's this great, I don't know if dichotomy is the right word, but this yin and yang. I love the business of sports, and I hate the business of sports. You know what I mean? Because you hear these type of stories too. But anyway, the other thing you sent me was about Sean Clifford and his number, right? So I found this one. Sean Clifford actually quote tweeted Matt Schneidman. Here we go. Yeah, John in the chat says, "What number will Jacobs be?" You know, Jacobs wore number 8 in Oakland, right, or in Vegas. God, I'm old. So
He wore 28 also.
yeah. So yeah, exactly. And we got AJ Dillon, you know, back in the building too. So obviously Sean Clifford last year wore number 8. Am I right, guys?
Yeah,
Yes.
last season I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. So Matt Schneidman tweeted out Sean Clifford has a new number after giving Josh Jacobs number 8. He said, "New era Clifford, hashtag 6-shooter," right? And then Sean Clifford quote tweeted it and said, 429-23 to 315-24. It was a great run, but wouldn't want anyone else to rep the 8. Excited to get to work, brother. And he tagged Josh Jacobs. Obviously, he said, "Time for a new era." Hashtag 6-shooter. So, dude, I'm telling you, Sean Clifford is one of those dudes. I dread the day. Thank you. I dread the day that he has to come in for Jordan Love, because that means Jordan Love's banged up. I don't ever want to see that happen. But when it does, I think people will be surprised, because they say he's a scrappy dude. His teammates love him. You see him on the sideline. If you watch the All-22 and you zoom in on the sideline, if there's an opposing player near the sideline, Sean Clifford's in their face calling them some kind of bad word. And I really, really appreciate it. She said, Murph said Clifford's a nice guy. He's definitely a team player, man. And you heard Coach LaFleur kind of gloat about him last year. Said he's a gamer is the way he referred to him, right? He's a gamer. So yeah, Clifford definitely got to that.
You got it.
What's that?
I said you think you got it.
Someone posted a gift to they said it might have been Matt Schneidman said live looking on Sean Clifford, and I think it was like Donald Duck or one of the cartoons counting money. It's like, yeah, you know Jacobs gave him a good chunk for that. So Tim, we have let me hit this real quick, and then we'll get to your mock. All right, we're 27 minutes in. Ryan Wood tweeted this out yesterday. Said Josh Jacobs said he had about a dozen teams to choose from in free agency, all contacting him at once in a short window, but the Packers were an early favorite because of joining the young team that reached the playoffs, and of course Jordan Love. We kind of hit on that yesterday. I thought that was really cool. And then when Josh Jacobs did speak to the media, one of the quotes that I overlooked yesterday, Matt Schneidman tweeted this out, said Josh Jacobs on Matt LaFleur, "I honestly didn't think he was going to be as cool as he is." So Matt LaFleur obviously making a good first impression. And we always refer to him as Tupac LaFleur, right? So this was in the comments, right, underneath that tweet. And I wanted to give credit there. It's at JMarrt, JMarrTTT. But yeah, I mean, this cat right here, I about said a bad word. This cat right here has got three lung darts, one behind the ear, one in the holster, as I say, one in the mouth, got one in the hand ready to light back up. Jacob, you got some friends that you've seen like this at parties before, haven't you, man?
Man, that used to be me, bro. Do rag and all.
I love it.
Tupac LaFleur and what did we say? Gangster Goody?
Gangster Goody, yeah.
Gangster Goody and Tupac LaFleur.
Yeah. So we're going to get to Tim's mock draft now. Just want to mention briefly, I know we got a lot of Wisconsin fans in here. Obviously, Packers GM Brian Gutekunst was with the Badgers football head coach there, Luke Fickell, at the Wisconsin Pro Day yesterday. I know everybody wants, the Packers to draft as many Wisconsin Badgers as possible. That makes sense, right? Yeah, there's nothing better than seeing your best college players go on to play for your favorite pro team. But this was at Lauren Helbrick, I think I'm saying that right, that tweeted this out. And if you looked at their pro day participants, if I got this correct, you had basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 prospects. One or two of them might have been like underclassmen that just want to participate. I'm not sure. But if you look to the right, the rankings there, right? And I'm sure I'm going to completely butcher these names, but we'll try it here. We got Tanner Mordecai. He's ranked 489 on the consensus big board, okay? Tanner Bordolini obviously is the biggest name here, one of the biggest names. He's ranked 139 currently on the consensus big board. You got Michael Furtney, who's 519. You got CJ Goetz, I think I'm saying that right. He didn't have a ranking on the consensus big board. Jacob, you take this one. You don't even want to try it, do you? I'm going to try it. Mema Unjong Meta.
Who?
Exactly correct. He is ranked 352nd. I believe he's a linebacker, if I remember correctly, maybe an edge or a linebacker.
Yeah.
Braylon Allen's the big name. Obviously, everybody wants to see him in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Braylon Allen, his ranking is 87th currently on the consensus big board. Travion Blaylock does not have a ranking. And then Peter Bowden is ranked 470th. And then you had at the bottom there, let me drop this down, Hayden Rucci, who didn't have a ranking either. So again, a couple of those guys might actually be underclassmen. I'm not sure, not underclassmen, but not actually coming out in the draft, but participating. Sometimes they do that at the pro days, but nonetheless, there are your Wisconsin Badgers that participated at the pro day, if I understood correctly. They tweeted this out yesterday. Wisconsin Badger football did, so I'm assuming that's correct. But Tim, we've stalled long enough. Are you ready for this, sir?
I'm ready. Are you guys ready? You guys ready for 5 cornerbacks, 5 safeties, and a running back? You guys ready?
Call Emilio.
I know Emilio's still asleep, man. He's cuddled up in his race car bed. He's got, his Lightning McQueen stuffed animal. He's yeah. What kind of pajamas does Emilio have? That's the question. Everybody in the chat, I need to know what kind of pajamas does Emilio have?
Oh, easy. They have tacos and spaghetti and meatballs on them.
There were some people in here yesterday saying bad things about Emilio. We would never do that, but people in the chat were talking about his high school days playing lacrosse. True story. Emilio actually played college lacrosse, so he was kind of a beast. I've seen the highlights. Stu was an enforcer. He was the one peeling caps. You wouldn't know it with that little childhood smile right there, though, would you? Look at my guy. I would love to have played sports with Emilio because he sounds like he's a freaking blast. Look at that dude on the field. He just laid somebody out, their ankles twisted up, and he's going, yeah, look, my man. I love it. So Emilio in his prime. Love that dude. All right, so let's do it, Tim. We're going to crank it up. I'm not even going to zoom in. We're going to make this tough on you. You're going to have to read it like this.
Whoa, come on now.
Come on. We're going to stack it
like that.
All right, let's see here, man.
Which one? Are we using PFF this time? Okay.
Which would you prefer to use? I was going to ask you.
I think let's do PFF.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because it does give you kind of a quick glance at the last 2 years, a little more information. So we'll go ahead and crank this thing up. Again, we're going to do a mock draft here. Tim is running the show. I'll have my cheat sheet here just to kind of give you an idea of what I think about these players as well. That way we can kind of maximize the opportunity of going through another mock draft. This is so much more enjoyable than the last couple of years where I've done these by myself, man. But here we go. Let's go ahead and crank this thing up. on the clock at number 25. And any comments you see, Jacob, if you want to work the comments, you can just cut us off and read them out. All right. But we've got at the 25th pick, the best available prospect. Jerzan Newton keeps dropping, doesn't he, man? This is wild. Defensive lineman Jerzan Newton, 11th best prospect is available. You got Jackson Powers Johnson, who's ranked 19th. You got Latu, edge defender out of UCLA, ranked 20th. Tackle Amarius Mims at 23. Tyler Nubin at 25. Peyton Wilson at 26. Zach Frazier at 31. You tell me what positions you want to see there, Tim. Uh-oh, is Tim muted? Yep, you're muted.
Yeah, my bad. I'm muted.
We're saying a quick prayer before we got cranked up.
JPJ, run the card.
My man, look at this. No hesitation. That's what I'm talking about. Best center in the draft. Best center in the draft, JCJ. I love it. All right, so he went with Jackson Powers Johnson. All right, now here we are at 41. Best available, Tyler Nubin, safety out of Minnesota. Linebacker Peyton Wilson out of North Carolina State. Center Zach Frazier. Quarterback Bo Nix. Cornerback TJ Tampa. Let me know if you want to see any specific positions.
I'd like to see linebacker.
I'd like to see a linebacker for 500, please, Alex. All right, you got 26 ranked Peyton Willis, 66 ranked Junior Colson, 88th ranked Jeremiah Trotter Jr., and then you got Laufau out of Notre Dame, ranked 100.
All right, let's go back to all.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike Hebring. Don't forget linebacker. In my mind.
Exactly.
Can we see the only value I'm seeing there is Peyton Wilson. Can we get a little more info on him?
Peyton. So
I got to lean on my crew here.
Yeah, on my board, and listen, I seem to be very, very different than most on this. Like if I look at linebackers, they've got Peyton Wilson ranked 26 and Junior Colson ranked 66th. On my board, I've got Junior Colson 49th. And Peyton Wilson 62nd. So my personal opinion, I think Junior Colson may be a better linebacker. At least that's what the data suggest that I've compiled. But yeah, as far as linebacker Peyton Wilson, they're really high on him. Obviously, he tore the combine absolutely to pieces. PFF grades 59, 69, 89.9 last year, obviously playing for North Carolina State Wolfpack. His pass rush grade 76.8, which you're not going to worry about too much. Run defense grade 83.7, coverage grade 90.4, missed tackle rate 4.7. I mean, according to these analytics, these numbers, he looks like a freaking stud. I'm going to pull up Junior Colson real quick because I want to see how PFF feels about him. Okay, 48, 75, 81. Not quite as good of grades there. Coverage grade 83.4, run defense grade 80. I think the big thing for me was he was a little more consistent in year 2 there. But, again, I don't want to sway you in any way. Peyton Wilson, according to PFF, is the much better linebacker than Junior Colson here.
Okay. I'm just wondering if it's too early to take one. Probably not too early. Can we let's go to best overall again?
Okay. Tyler Nubin, 25th. Peyton Wilson, 26th. Zach Frazier, 31st. Bo Nix, 33rd.
Yeah. You know what? Let's I'm going to be real original here. Let's take Tyler Nubin.
I love it, Tim. I'm not going to lie, bro. You're getting the 25th best prospect at 41, right? And then at safety, I've got Tyler Nubin as the best safety. I've got him ranked 28th, so just 3 spots apart. His average draft position is 32.2, so you're definitely not going to have a shot at him at 58. I love his pick, man. So Tim out here just got you a starting center, right? Or at least someone who could fill in at right guard if Myers beats him out for center. So your offensive line interior got better, really, significantly better. And then you just went and got your safety opposite Xavier McKinney. I love it, dude. Number 58, best on the board, Michael Penix Jr., quarterback out of Washington, wide receiver Ricky Pearsall, wide receiver Jermaine Burton, edge defender Jonah Ellis, defensive lineman Rook Ora, and tackle Kyron Amagaji. What do you think?
Linebackers, please, again.
All right, let's take a look at linebacker.
Don't forget those linebackers.
I got you, Mike. I got you.
Yeah.
Bam. Look at that.
Look at that.
If you don't get him here, he's definitely going to be gone at 88. Junior Colson, 66 best prospect. Again, I've got him as the best linebacker in the draft.
Run that card.
You like it? All right.
Let's go.
Tim, dude, this might be the best
Shape
one.
looks to be a pretty good draft.
This is looking sick, bro.
I don't want to jinx him.
All right. Here we go. Again, that pick was linebacker Junior Colson there at 58. So, all right, here we are at pick 88. All right, on the board here, the best available according to PFF is Jalen Wright, running back, 71st ranked. Blake Corum, running back, 75th. Javen Baker, wide receiver out of UCF. Johnny Wilson, wide receiver out of Florida State. Max Melton at the 80 spot. Average draft position is 93.5. We're picking 88 here. Max Melton's on the board.
Can we see corners? Can I just take a look at corners all together?
See kind of the depth there. So you got Max Melton at the 80 spot, Jerrion Jones 98th, DJ James 108, Chris Abrams Drain 112.
Oh man,
I see what you're doing here. You're trying to look for the drop off, right?
Right, and I want a corner. I really want a corner right here. Jacob, what do you think? What are your thoughts?
Really.
What's that?
I said I agree with Mr. Lee here.
Let's
Max
do it
Melton all day.
Let's take Max. Let's run the card. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. I want to check one thing real quick. Okay. Just for and we're taking Max Melton here. I'm not going to try to talk you out of this, Tim. I just want to look at how my cornerback falls here. I don't have Max Melton. I don't have Max Melton in the top 10. I don't have Jerrion Jones in the top 10. I do have DJ James in the top 10. I've actually got him ranked 67th. I'm just trying to see how it falls. You know what I mean? Yeah, cool. Let's take Max.
My thought was to try and double dip and get my corners now. I'll take Max now and then take DJ James at 91.
Boy, I'd be all about that, bro.
So let's see if we can do that.
All right, we're going Max Melton here, right?
Yep.
All right, Max Melton at 88. So you got one corner. That's an outside corner. I'll put the O next to him so we know. And now, did he go? Look at this. No. Yeah, we're still good. So if we look best available here at 91, Jalen Wright, Blake Corum, Javen Baker, Johnny Wilson, Bucky Irvin, Trey Benson, Jeremiah Trotter Jr. There's Kalen Bullock, You want me to pull up corner again? Is that right, Tim?
Yes, sir.
All right. You got Jerry Jones and DJ James both there. They're
Wow.
ranked 98th, 108, 112 for Chris Abrams' Drain. You're picking 91st here. Your next pick is 126. So all three of those will most likely be gone then. Jerry Jones's average draft position is 90th. DJ James is 111. So he's definitely not going to be there at 126. I do not have Jerry Jones in my top 10 of corners. But again, I've got DJ James. He's actually my 67th best overall prospect. That doesn't mean you got to take him. I'm just, like I said, I'm trying to draw a parallel for the listeners of kind of how my board lies. So if you want to go corner again here, if you don't do it now, Tim, if you try to wait till 126, you're probably going to miss out on Elijah Jones too, and you'll be in that 128 ranking somewhere around in there. So
Yep. I'm going to trust my gut. I'm going to double dip here. Let's take DJ James out of Auburn. Let's go.
I like it. All right, here we go. DJ James at pick 91. What'd you say? You're over there mumbling, Jacob. You disagreeing?
No, I just think is this an all defensive draft so far?
Don't worry about it, Jacob.
This is Tim. What do you expect?
Hey, what stopped us from getting over the hump these last few years?
I was going to say, Tim remembers all the post-game shows where everybody was bitching and moaning about the defense. Don't you, Tim?
Yes, sir.
And it's funny because if the roles had been flipped, the offense struggled in the first half of the season. If it had been the opposite, we'd be screaming for offensive players.
And not.
So you went DJ James.
You didn't really think I wasn't going to take a corner with the Rasul pick. Come on now.
I was going to say, yeah.
All right. So now we are, let's see here. Pick 126, best available. There's your boy Eric All. Poor guy. He's falling like a rock every single draft. Jarvis Brownlee Jr., Justin out of edge defender out of Alabama. Is it? How would you say that one, Jacob?
Yeah, Justin.
Yeah.
You sure about that?
No.
Malik Washington, wide receiver out of Virginia, and then tackle Christian Jones out of Texas. What are we thinking here, Tim? So far, you've drafted center, safety, linebacker, corner.
Can we go? Let's bring up tackle.
Tackle. All right. Tackle, you're picking 126, and the 126 best ranked player overall is Christian Jones, tackle out of Texas. Then you got Satoa Laumau, tackle out of Utah. You got Isaiah Adams, tackle out of Illinois. Roger Rosengarten, tackle out of Washington. Javen Foster, tackle out of Missouri. Obviously, in your range right here, it's going to be Christian Jones or nobody, I would imagine. So
yeah, what can you pull his chart up?
Yeah, absolutely. PFF grades 56, 70, and 75. Run block grade is a 75.2. That is considered somewhat elite in comparables. You know what I mean? It's right there at the top of the chart there. Pass block grade 78.1, well above average. Zone grade 82.6, gap grade 60.8. So he's definitely a zone blocking tackle that fits the scheme, no doubt about it. His true pass block grade 2 is 79.0. That is solid.
Perfect. Okay, can I see? Can we get out of here and let's see running back?
Okay,
as a
running
group.
back.
As a group.
Let's see here. Running backs as a group.
What is Jay? Reading my mind. I love it.
All right. So if we were to remove actually, let's put them up there together. Is that cool? We'll go tackle and running back. Yeah. I love that PFF allows you to do that. I think it's really cool. So if you sorted it by tackle and running back, your best available will be tackle Christian Jones, running back Braylon Allen from Wisconsin, halfback Will Shipley from Clemson.
Murph.
Murph's always helpful.
Isaac Garendo, halfback out of Louisville at 134. And then you got Laumau, 137, tackle out of Utah.
Okay. I'm going to – man. Sorry, Badger fans. Let's take Christian Jones. Let's take the tackle.
All right, we're going to go tackle here. Try to get you a little swing tackle action, right, to back up Rashid and Zach Tom.
You and Mike are connected to the same wavelength.
It's awesome. I think that Mike actually might be Tim's burner. He had. Remember the time that Mike came on the show during training camp? I'm pretty sure that Tim paid like one of his buddies to pretend like he was Mike Hebron. So, anyway, 169. Eric All is still there at tight end. Then you got Ben Sinat, 141. Dylan Lobb. How do you say his name, Jacob? Do you know? Lobby. Okay. Dylan Lobby out of New Hampshire. You got halfback Dylan Johnson out of Washington. I think he's pretty solid. Dwight McLaughlin, cornerback out of Arkansas. Jaheim Bell, tight end out of Florida State. Is it just me or is he dropped significantly?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
he has.
Can you bring up running backs again as a group?
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at running backs. Dylan Lobby, Dylan Johnson, Tyrone Tracy, Kamani Vidal, Cody Schrader, Frank Gore Jr. Frank Gore Jr. is sitting in the 207 spot. We're at pick 169, and you pick again at 202. Jace McClellan at 210. Rasheen Ali I like too. He's ranked 244th. But yeah, there you go.
Let's look at D-line real quick.
D-line, all right. D-line, I'll keep it coupled here with running back. You notice the D-line, they get thin quick, don't they?
Yeah.
That's why, like, every time I get – what's that?
I said, Reef says, don't forget the edge too, Tim.
Everybody putting pressure on Tim.
No, that's good. That's cool. I listen to my my war room. So let's look at edge, because edge is on the radar, just not as high as
edge onto it.
Yeah.
Braden McGregor out of Michigan, ranked 177th. That's kind of within range there, 169. Let's see. The next edge will be Solomon Byrd at 193.
It's pretty good too, I think.
Yeah. Who, Bird? Are you saying Bird or?
Pretty sure he had a pretty decent couple years.
Yeah. If you go Bird here, obviously 193 is his rank. He probably, if you go with him here, ranked 193rd, you're picking 169. It seems like a bit of a reach, but he's definitely not going to be there at 202. So let's do this. Let's go to this first edge, and let's just compare them. 69, 66, 74, right? And he is stunning. 6'6", 267. Good God. That is our boy Braden McGregor out of Michigan. And then the other edge is Solomon Byrd out of USC. 66, 66, 81. Big jump there last year. 6'3", 250. Not quite as much size, but yeah.
Inside linebacker one more time. Let's bring that up too.
Good point, man. You can't have too many. I mean, we got to fill that room out, boys. It is so thin right now. Linebacker looks like it's way down the list here. Still coolest name in the draft.
Go back up to the top. Oh, that was right. Okay, yeah, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. All right. So my gut here.
Tough, man.
Let's
listen to the anxiety. I love it.
Let's go with let's see, we took a center and a tackle, right? Can we see interior offensive line again?
Yeah. Let's tack them on there. Bang. Interior offensive line, you have best available center Hunter Norzad at 200, and then guard Javion Cohen at 206. Center Tanner Bortolini at 212. Yeah. So yeah, that's how that sits. You could get Tanner Bortolini obviously with 202 most likely. His average draft position is 207. So
I think we're going to take the edge.
The big boy out of Michigan.
Yeah, let's take McGregor.
Yeah. Again, man, golly, dude, 6'6", 267. Goot would be slobbering right there, dude. I mean, that dude is that's all the size you want in an edge defender. The reach, I'm sure, is there. Run stop rate 9.7%, right toward the top. Pass rush win rate well above average. True pass set pass rush grade definitely above average at a 74.5. Run defense grade little above average, 69.3. Pass rush grade well above at 75.1. I like it, Tim. I think you got someone with a lot of upsides there. So
yeah, let's go.
Braden McGregor, edge out of Michigan. All right, so you got your backup edge who's going to help fill that void for Inagare. All right, pick 202. Talk to me, Tim.
Running back. Let's go running back here.
All right, Frank Gore Jr.'s best available.
Yeah, draft him. Take him.
This is your last chance, right? For sure.
Run the card.
And some people may not be very high on Frank Gore Jr. I'm really big on him. He's my fourth best running back. I've got him above Bucky Irvin, Ray Davis, and Jonathan Brooks. Some people are going, you're a Kentucky fan, Clayton. Why ain't Ray Davis? I'm telling you, dude. I think Frank Gore Jr. is going to surprise people, man. So, all right, Frank Gore Jr., running back. Love it. A little bit undersized, but hey, I've never heard a defender this is what cracks me up about people go, well, he's a small running back. I've never heard a defender go, yeah, he's easy to tackle. He's small. It's usually the opposite. Like, you can't get your hands on that guy, and they get lost behind the offensive line too. You lose sight of them, right? That was one of the big things about Barry Sanders too. Now, obviously, he was a little bit thicker, but yeah. 219, tight end Eric All, edge Jalen Green, center Tanner Bortolini, cornerback Johnny Dixon, and tackle Andrew Coker. You know, you took Jackson Powers Johnson with that first pick, right? How confident are we that he could play guard?
I'm confident that he can play center. That's why I drafted him.
Yeah, what I was thinking is like,
and I'm thinking maybe you know, in a pinch, Josh Myers goes over there.
Gotcha.
You know,
yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So Can we see safety really quick?
Yep. Back to safety, you got Dominique Hampton, 233, Tyler Owens, 250, Kenny Logan Jr., 251.
I missed Omar Brown. I was hoping Omar Brown would be around here. Okay.
Yeah.
Boy.
Tim, have you checked out Kenny Logan Jr. or Oladapo's stats real quick?
Yep. Kenny Logan Jr., 76, 60, 79, forced incompletion rate toward the top of the entire, all of college football. Coverage grade, 84.1. It is way up the threshold there, or the comparable, I should say. Played 128 snaps in the slot, 300 in the box, 290 deep. More of a box safety. Not bad at all. Kenny Logan Jr. out of Kansas. And then the other one, Oladapo, 73, 79, 88.3, 278 snaps in the slot, 292 in the box, 174 deep. That is strong.
Look at his run defense grade, too.
Yeah, run defense grade, Tim, 91.3, dude.
This is where I'm leaning, but let me see the value. Can we get out of here? Where is he projected at?
259. You've got pick 245. So here's the problem, though. Average draft position for Oladapo is 243.5. You pick again at 245.
Right. Do we really want to reach?
Yeah, that's tough. Kenny Logan Jr., even though he's ranked higher, he's being drafted lower at 245.8. So you feel well, I don't want to say that and then be gone. I was going to say you feel like one of those two might be there, but not for sure,
Yeah, I like Oladapo a lot. I just don't know if we want to reach. Let me look at corner again.
All right. Cornerback. Johnny Dixon out of Penn State, Josh Wallace out of Michigan, Miles Harden out of South Dakota are the top three there. Ranked 214, 219, 224. We're picking 219, so 214 is definitely good value.
Can I see Dixon's numbers here? You pull him up.
Absolutely. 62, 72, 66. That looks like cheeks, don't it? What's up with that? He played outside corner, 344 snaps, only in the slot 38. So he's strictly an outside corner. It seems like his size must be decent. Yeah, 6'1", 191.
Okay, let's clear that board and let's go best available all together. Let's just double check here.
All right, Eric All, tight end out of Iowa, edge defender Jalen Green out of James Madison, center Tanner Bortolini out of Wisconsin, cornerback Johnny Dixon out of Penn State. The reason I mentioned that a while ago about guard is because what if Jackson Powers Johnson could play guard and you drafted Tanner Bortolini to compete with Josh Myers at center? And
that's what I was thinking too, because there's more value on Tanner here, I think, than going safety.
If you look at the PFF grades too, like 87, 74, 65, he's gotten worse though. That's the only problem. Now, when you look at this is where I think the value can be. In 2022, he played 411 snaps at left guard. In 2022, he played 163 snaps at right guard. And then this year, he played center. So if you were to look at the PFF grades and go, okay, in 2021, that was his best grade. In 2021, he played right tackle. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just it's smaller sample size, but
that zone grade kind of concerns me.
Oh, it's a great point. Yeah, I would not. I'm not big on him. Looking at that pass block grade. 80.3, pretty solid. Yeah, that zone grade, man, that's pretty bad. That's all the warning signs there.
All right. You know what? Let's reach. Actually, you know what? No. Let's take we need depth at corner. Let's take Dixon.
going to take Johnny Dixon.
Let's
All
take
right.
Dixon. Let's take him.
All right, going cornerback Johnny Dixon out of Penn State. And bang. All right. So you got him. Again, more of an outside corner. So I'll kind of list that there. 245. You want to look at the safeties, right?
Sure do.
Kenny Logan Jr. is there.
Oh,
Man, that is Tim. You skated in there, bro. Again, Kenny Logan Jr. 76, 60, 79. Great coverage grade 84.1. He's just about as versatile as you're going to find at the safety position, playing 300 snaps in the box, 290 deep, 128 in the slot. Pretty solid, man.
Let's run that card.
All right, there you go. So I'm going to list him as a safety, but I'm also going to put slot next to it because he really can play in the slot and in the box. So we'll go safety/slot. All right, final pick, 255. Tight end Eric All, edge Jalen Green, center Andrew Rhyme, edge defender Khalid Duke, however you say it. What are you thinking here, Ken? What do you want to see?
Let's man. Eric All, that was the one we were looking at last night, right? We know about those Iowa tight ends, 6'5", 250. Holy cow, that's a big boy.
Yep. And again, they said it was an injury, right? So he may be kind of like we were looking at Jonathan Brooks early in the draft process. Like, okay, he may start on IR, although they're saying Jonathan Brooks will be ready. Didn't they say that? Did Carly look it up and say it happened in October, Jacob? Am I thinking right?
I looked it up, and it happened last March, I believe.
Oh, okay.
No, I think it was October. I think it was maybe
October.
October.
I was thinking it was October, yeah. Yards per route run was the big thing, 2.62. I mean, he's probably the best in college football amongst tight ends there. Receiving grade, 76.1. His drop rate, though, is a little bit concerning, 16%. I mean, that is really, really low, low in a bad way.
Especially for a receiving type of tight end, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So run block grade, 58.6. If he wasn't 6'5", if he was 6'3", we would be saying cheeks right here, would we not?
Yeah.
That's a good. So you got to kind of put that in perspective, don't you?
Let's scroll down.
Ooh, Jordan McGee.
What'd you say, Jake?
Said you should check out Jordan McGee.
Jordan McGee.
Yeah.
Ooh, 65, 74, 87 linebacker out of Temple. All right. Let's see his size real quick. 6'3", 225. What the heck, Jacob? What's he doing way down there, dude?
I don't know, but Jacob might have just found my final pick here.
Bro, and you've taken one linebacker. If you were to look at what you took, center, safety, linebacker, cornerback, tackle, edge, halfback, cornerback, safety, I would be going 10. We probably need another linebacker.
Let's run the card. I agree with my war room.
Jacob, why is he dropping, dude? What?
I think it's because I heard Shavink say that he's just because of his weight. People don't know he's one of those tweener guys, kind of that gets lost between like a big safety or a small linebacker and a big safety.
Gotcha.
But,
okay.
I don't know.
That's
I think he's on a little
someone that can play in the box, basically, like we're looking for.
Yeah, like maybe a third safety if you want to do a little Okie look there. So
let's run it. Let's go with Mr. McGee.
All right. Jordan McGee is the final pick of the draft. Tim, I think you nailed this, dude. I love it. You're going to get roasted for the center pick. But who cares?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Merv's coming at you. Oh, no guard.
No guard. Sean Ryan's fine. Everybody's going, what are you talking about?
I told you the plan is JPJ comes into this league and starts, and Josh goes to right guard. That's my intention there.
I actually don't hate this draft. Tell you what.
I'm telling you, man. Let's recap it real quick. I'm going to read it off for everybody. Let me zoom in a little bit. You guys can barely see that too, right? Of course, it goes off the screen for me. You got with the 25th pick, center Jackson Powers Johnson, best center in the draft. Pick 41, safety Tyler Newman. He'll start immediately. Second round, 58th pick, linebacker Junior Colson. I think he's the best linebacker in the draft. They hated it. That's okay. Max Melton, cornerback at number 88. Obviously, Bo's brother. DJ James, cornerback at number 91. Tackle Christian Jones at number 126. Number 169, you got Braden McGregor, edge defender out of Michigan. At 202, you got halfback Frank Gore Jr., 219 cornerback Johnny Dixon, 245 safety Kenny Logan Jr., and 255 linebacker Jordan McGee. So there you go.
I got a B, huh? Okay, I'll take it.
And again, that's if you want an A on PFF and some of these sites that we're using, then just follow their board. That's not the
Right.
point.
Right.
That's why sometimes you'll hear me do a mock and go, okay, we're going to treat this as if this is our draft board, right? Just to kind of specify, like, these aren't the guys that I think are going to be the best, based on the people that I completely trust. So, and again, that's how my board is set up. It's compiled of people that I trust in the draft community. I'll tell you a name that's not on there is Mel Kiper Jr. Okay, that's one that you're not going to find on there.
We only go to Mel for hairstyling tips, right?
Exactly
That's
correct.
exactly what we need.
Hey, did you guys look at it? We are almost perfect here with our timing today. Talk about
Look
that.
And now this is where we'll screw it up. So,
Yep.
Did you get a screenshot of that so you can?
I did. I'm going to DM it over to you for sure.
Awesome, thank you.
What I'm doing is I sent Emilio's to him. I sent Jacob his, and we can do more on down the road, right? But this is kind of the first one that we've actually really dove into. So yeah, we'll make sure that we get those to you guys, and we'll kind of revisit them later, right? That's the other
Awesome.
thing I want to do.
Doesn't Mel Kiper Jr. kind of look like the Count from the Sesame Street?
He does, yeah. The count today's number, right? I've actually got a video. I thought I shared it already. I'm going to get it in the database because we got to have it for draft season. I'm just telling you. Let's go around the horn here real quick. You guys talk about something. Jacob, anything else you want to hit on, bub?
Jacob, what do you think of that draft? Honest opinion.
I actually do like it a lot. I don't like the last. I can't remember what pick it was that I didn't like. It was one of the ones towards the end. I would have went with somebody else, but other than that, I actually really like it, especially because you went center first. Notice how nobody dove into your butt like they did mine. So.
Easy now, easy. This is a family program here, okay? It's funny, yeah. I think people are, the more mocks we do, they're kind of coming to the realization of, okay, this kind of makes sense to take a center early. Like, you're getting the best. Again, people, you can scoff at it. Go watch Kansas City and watch Creed Humphrey and get back to me. We took Josh Myers one pick before him. That just because this is our guy, we got to stick with him. No, man, the only thing worse than making a bad draft pick is refusing to admit you made a bad draft pick. It's that simple. So, yeah, let's see. I think I got it downloaded here. We got to have this for draft season. I had a couple of draft day clips I was trying to add in too, but man, there's just so much colorful language you can't use them.
Who in the hell is Mel Kiper anyway?
There you go. So we got that one queued up for the draft.
Classic, man. Rest in peace, Chris Mortensen too, man.
Oh yeah, dude.
Classic.
Absolutely
classic
one of the best. The thing I respect the most about Chris Mortensen is he's the one who broke the Deflategate stuff, right? And he a week or two later and said that the report was inaccurate. And it would have been real easy just to sit back and not acknowledge that, but he was just that type of guy. Tony Bruno, a guy I've listened to forever. I know many people don't like his style. That's what I grew up on, the old school sports talk where people didn't worry about hurting anybody's feelings. You guys can kind of feel that here a little bit. We definitely try to stay on the safer side of that. But he had Mort on a lot, and he played his last interview with Mort, and Mort was obviously still sick. But yeah, Chris Mortensen, one of the best, man, for sure. I want to acknowledge Mike Evering. We appreciate the super chat, buddy. He said, "Don't forget about running back Tim at the time. He obviously paid $2 to save Tim's draft." I love
appreciate everybody reminding me that you can, in fact, draft offensive players, not just defensive players.
You gotta.
And anyone who follows the show knows that the fact that I took any offensive players is probably an accomplishment. So,
yeah,
we didn't end up with 7 safeties, so we're good.
Mike Hebring said 1265 just needs to kick Goot to the curb and hire Tim first. There you go. Tim, go over there, knock on the door and say, Goot, you're fired.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I think I'd want to be in the room. I'd keep Gangster Goot and hang out with Tupac LaFleur and be fun.
Tupac LaFleur would never not be funny to me, dude. I love it.
All right, hey, that's just the way we talk in the clink.
I'd love to see it. All right, let's get out of here, man. Hour 4-minute mark. Here's the plan today, guys.
Wait, I got to give a shout out. Hold on a second. Oh, not Greg Rice. Hold on. Oh, yeah, Greg Rice too. Yeah, I like that. Write a letter. My brother from another mother in here, Big Angel 13. What's up?
That's what's up. All right.
That's his nickname is Kung Fu Panda. If you know him, you know. Shout out to Big Angel for tuning in. I think he's doing the card show this weekend. So go get me a Jordan Love rookie, Angel. I appreciate that.
Yeah, there you go, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, Ron Sample says Tim will need a gangster name. What would his street name be?
Draft Killer. Mock Draft Killer.
I love it. Love it. What do you got, Jacob? I know you got something there. Come on.
I don't know. I'm really deep in thought though.
This is where we need Emilio. Emilio, if he wasn't spooning with his Lightning McQueen stuffed animal right now, you know what I mean? He'd be in here with a cool name. You know it. So, yeah.
Dang.
Timster. Timster's pretty good, right? Kind of like the Tim and Gangster together, right?
Oh my gosh.
Ice-D.
Could just be Lil Tim, but you know.
Well, hey.
All right, let's get out of here. We're off the rails. Appreciate everybody hanging out. This is a lot of fun. Again, we can finally put the box stuff to bed. If those of you who are watching on Twitter right now, if you would, you can actually click on my profile and on Twitter, and you'll see a YouTube link that'll send you to our YouTube channel where you can subscribe there, and you can actually comment there a lot easier than you can on Twitter. And it's just a way that you guys can interact with the show. We've had a bunch of people jump over. So again, just want to make sure you guys are aware that we're over on YouTube as well. So we appreciate y'all spending this Saturday morning with us. So tonight, the plan, not going to go normal time. We're going to go fairly early. Okay. So my guess is it'll probably be somewhere around 2 Central, 3 Easternish, something like that. Cause I got I'm smoking ribs here in just a second, so I got to cater to that all day. But like I said, we got a little birthday shindig we got to go to this evening.
You're doing ribs, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna do some ribs today.
I thought you were doing chili or something.
I tried this one chili and it set my mouth on fire, and I had to drink a 2-liter of Mountain Dew.
The problem, Tim, I'm out of Mountain Dew, so you got to roll with the ribs today.
I think T-Dog's pretty legit. Simple.
T-Dog, okay.
Or it could be maybe
T-Bone. I drafted some dogs today. I like that.
T-Bone.
T-Bone.
Oh my God,
gosh, no.
T-Bone, bro. We can do a Photoshop. Listen, we can do a Photoshop of Tim with a big dog bone hanging on his thing, right? Come on, let's go. He said T-Dog. There you go. All right, we're out of here, guys. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us.
Click that like button if you guys are enjoying the content too.
Yeah,
make sure you repost, retweet, reshare, whatever. Email it to grandma, whatever you got to do. We'll get the word out. Appreciate everybody in the chat and everybody hanging out. Oh, I like that.
Timberland. I like it. All right, there you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Just parting advice, 2 tips for today, guys.
Wash your hands, wash your butt, man. That's it. That's all.
That's all. All right. We'll see you guys a little later today. Like I said, we'll do everything we can to get another show out. I want to stick to 2 a day until next week, because next week we'll be going to 1 a day, most likely. So for those of you listening on the pod, thank you for making us a part of your day. Again, give a special thanks to Mike Ebring for the super chat, and Joyce off air always tends to do it off air too. She tries to sneak them in. She gave, I think, 10 more memberships last night, if I remember correctly. So appreciate her supporting the channel. We're going to be doing a giveaway real soon. Remind me, Tim, I'm going to get that organized. We want to do a giveaway here within the next few days. Okay. We got a couple autographed jerseys that we'll give one of those away here. So probably most likely will be in either an Antonio Freeman or a Robert Brooks autographed jersey. So
cool. I'll send you my address. I'll take one or both of those for sure.
Sounds good. All right. Everybody have a great day. Again, don't forget these important words.
Who in the hell is Mel Kiper anyway?
I don't know, Tobin. Mr. Tobin, I agree. I don't know who he is. So we'll see you guys a little later today. As always, let's go out and be the change we want to see in the world. Go Pack, go.